Let's take a look at this then. Okay, so one of the things as a future calculus student, you'll kind of find that one of the major definitions when you learn about a limit has to do with absolute value. So it's kind of good to get the idea of what an absolute value inequality is doing in terms of distance. So basically the idea is this. I mean, it's real simple. If you wanted to find the distance between two numbers, you just subtract the numbers, right? Okay. And it turns out if you do 7 minus 4, of course, those are 3 units apart. If you did it backwards, 4 minus 7, you get negative 3. Well, we don't want negative distances. So the way you find the distance between two numbers is you subtract and take the absolute value. Okay, that way you're guaranteed to get a positive answer. So in general, so if you had x and y, just two numbers, then the distance is the absolute value of x minus y. It doesn't matter what order you subtract them in because you're going to take the absolute value anyway. So that's what a distance between two numbers is, okay? So the next thing is going to look at an inequality. This problem here says write an absolute value inequality representing all numbers x whose distance from 0 is less than 15 units, okay? Well, here's what you do on this problem. The way you do the distance of x and 0, these are the two things that you're taking a distance from. Well, you just subtract, right? So we don't know what x is, but the distance it is from 0 is x minus 0. Okay, then it says it's less than 15, all right? So this would be written as absolute value of x less than 15, okay? Now, I'll see if you guys remember this from last time, but on Monday we learned how to solve absolute value inequalities. Let me ask the question this way. If it's an absolute less than, is the answer between two numbers or that way? Which one's logical? Between, okay? That's the short distance, right? So the solution of this would just be the interval negative 15 to 15, okay? And that should be sensible to you if all of the numbers between negative 15 and 15 have a distance to 0 that's less than 15. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, the distance is lower than 15. So that's how that goes, okay? Now the next one says write an absolute value that represents the distance from numbers x and 0, this time greater than 2 units. So this one would just be, again, x minus 0 is the distance. This time it's greater than 2, all right? So we have that. Okay, now remember, if it's greater than 2, one solution is bigger than 2, one solution smaller than negative 2. So the solution to this would just be x less than negative 2 or x greater than 2. Okay, and you could write that in interval notation. The big thing I'm wanting you to kind of get on this is, you know, how you use absolute value to write a distance. Okay, that's a big deal. You'll see that kind of in calculus. And one of the hardest parts of Calc 1 at the beginning is when you learn that technical definition of a limit that has to do with an absolute value inequality. Okay, so it's helpful that you understand that. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Well, I think I already did this. This is kind of like part A. So if I wanted to write this as an absolute value inequality, this just means your answer is between. So would it be an absolute less than or an absolute greater than? It's between. It's less than, right? Okay, so this would be absolute value of x less than or equal to 15. Okay, I'm giving you the solution. You're writing the inequality. We're just doing it backwards. Okay, the next one says that you have a solution going that way, bigger than 5, and one less than negative 5. So is that absolute value greater than or less than? That's greater than. Okay, that's a big distance. Okay, so then you would write this as absolute value of x greater than 5. Okay, that would be the inequality given that solution. That's it. Okay, does that make sense what I'm doing? Okay, just understand that a distance between two numbers is found by subtracting, but absolute value guarantees it's a positive number because distance is positive. Okay, that's kind of the key. All right.